Jiang Min, the main character of the drama Newly Dyed Leather, is the best master in a leather dyeing workshop. The leather dyeing stage is very difficult. First, washing, the selected person needs to be soaked in hot water for a long time to make his skin soft. Then the cutting, an incision is made with a knife on the back, along the spine, then dip your hands in mercury and remove the skin. This is the most difficult part of skin coloring. The best artist leaves only a knot from the seam on the skin at the back, and if you cover it with your hair, it will not be visible. And finally coloring, a little bit of cosmetics to make the skin pink. With a new skin, it only needs to imitate the voice and behavior of a person to become a completely new self. But the skin that Jiang Min colored last changed her life. A soldier was carrying a girl in his arms, the girl fell into the river, and luckily for her, a man was nearby who saw her and saved her. The soldier brought the girl to the workshop, sat her on a bench near a barrel of water, and began to massage her leg, rubbing the medicine into her skin. Other soldiers who saw them noticed that the girl was not local, to which she replied that she was local, but rarely left the house. One of the soldiers saw the reflection of a demon in the water. The guy left them, and when they asked him where he was going, he said that he wanted to check if there were any demons nearby. His comrades dissuaded him, but he insisted and said that his stomach hurt, and when he started to walk, the girl grew in front of him and wrapped his comrades in her strong tail. She quickly ran to gather her tools. While the girl was getting ready, a demoness appeared in the house and said that her husband had gone over to the prince's side and settled in the ghost city and ordered her to bring his wife Chun-san to him. Jiang Min refused. The demoness fell on the bed and realized that the girl in front of her was not Chun-san. She needed to find out who she was, and to do that, the demon needed to skin the girl. As General Shu Yan was entering the city, two young girls were talking about him. One of them looked at him with loving eyes and saw a young Shu Yan in her mind's eye. The general had been betrayed by his friend, and because of his betrayal, he joined forces with the demons. The two men sealed their alliance with a glass of wine. After drinking a glass of wine, a demon tore out the heart of one of the soldiers in front of Shu Yan. The reason was that demons have no heart compared to a human who can betray. The general knelt down before the prince and said that he would not betray him. The demon lifted the general off his knees and said that he would divide the kingdom equally between them. They shook hands, and the prince emphasized that from now on General Shu Yan had the same right as the prince. His orders were equal to those of the princes, and the feast began. The general was brought the freshly cooked torn-out heart of the man who accompanied him. Freshly cooked hearts were considered to be a dish served only to very important guests in the Phantom City. The general's hands were shaking at the sight of the dish. Xiao Yan's face was trying very hard not to show hatred and disgust towards the person who had ripped out the heart. The girl sitting next to him saw this. She hurried to his aid. The demoness sat down next to the general, took chopsticks in her hands, took a piece of heart, dipped it in sauce and put a piece of ginger, then dipped it in sesame seeds and brought it to her mouth, saying that it is delicious only if you follow the right order. The girl in the red dress nodded her head that he should do it and that everything would be fine. The general tasted it and confirmed that it was indeed the most delicious dish in the world. Everyone raised their wine glasses. The demoness put the wine glass to her lips and told the general that it was no longer a heart, but only a trick to distract his eyes. When he opened the door, there was a surprise waiting for him. In the room on the bed was the owner of a house of entertainment, the owner of a house of pleasure, the owner of the embroidery workshop, the owner of the hot springs. The prince had sent them and said they were all his. Shu Yan smiled and closed the bedroom door on the other side. Young demonesses came running to the owner of the workshop, asking her to choose the most beautiful skins to change into. The girl wondered why they had to have the most beautiful appearance. The demonesses said that it was because of the general. The prince had sent them to him 2 nights in a row, and Shu Yan did not like any of the girls, so the demon promised that the girl who liked the general would get a glowing pearl. The girl who helped the general at the reception said that maybe he liked men, that he didn't pay attention to them. The girls protested, saying that he had a bride in the human world. A demoness in a red dress came to meet them. She brought the clothes into the general's bedroom and saw letters addressed to Shu Yan from Q-san on the table. The girl took one out to read it when she heard the general's footsteps coming into the room. She quickly put the letters back and hid. When Shu Yan entered the room, he saw clothes on the table and heard someone coming out of the room. He asked who it was and saw the demoness at the door and immediately began to ask why she had come, if the prince had sent her. The general said to tell the prince that he did not need anyone in bed and that he should not send any more women to him. The girl replied that she had only brought new clothes because the ones Shu Yan was wearing were already worn out. Girls are dancing and men are watching with adoration and desire. The red-robed demoness was telling her sister-in-law that Shu Yan and his bride had met only once before the general left for the battlefield, and they had only written letters to each other. The sister wondered what Q-san looked like, that the general could not forget her after just one meeting. She turned to her sister, but she was no longer at the table. One of the demons told the prince that she had found out where the general's girlfriend lived and why he never looked at other beauties. They handed him the letters that had been stolen from Shu Yan's house. The girl was spinning, the sword next to her began to move. The bride took the sword and went to the front door. A demoness in a red dress appeared in front of her. They started fighting and Shu Yan's girlfriend died. At that moment, Chang Ming decided to paint her skin to become Q-san. General Shou Yan rushed to help his beloved. He appeared in time, just as the demon was attacking Chang Ming in the body of Q-san, and Xu Yang successfully defeated the demon. He took his bride, and they went to the city of demons. When they arrived at the city's sovereign, he was offended why the general killed a demon who was close to the prince. Xu Yan said that this demon specifically wanted to sow enmity between them by appearing in front of his bride. The demon supported the general, saying that it was a great job. Since they were brothers, no one could quarrel with them. The prince noticed that the bride was really beautiful and asked if he could have seen her somewhere before. He was told that the girl had never left Pengang before. The demon suggested that they get married in the Phantom City. The demon emphasized that since the general was like a brother to him, his wedding would be held according to the traditions of demons. She asked who was the best artist in their family and where she was now. Chan Ming asked her sister an uncomfortable question about whether her sister was pretty and who was prettier, Chan Ming or Q-san. Chan Ming noticed that her sister's arm had a big cut. It turned out that the owner of the workshop had hit Chang Ming. Chang Ming told her that she had become Q-san. Her sister did not support her choice, as she was afraid that Xu Yan would kill her if he found out that she was a demon and a prince, and that he would kill her if he found out what she had done. Back when they were young, and they were chosen for a workshop to learn how to paint leather. The first time she had to cut the leather, Ming was unable to do so and was punished by her mistress, and her sister stood up for her. Chang Ming was very angry about this and ran away from the Phantom City and accidentally fell off a cliff. Xiao Yan rescued her and took her to the Blue Dragon Temple, calmed her down, stopped the bleeding, and applied medicine. It was then that she fell in love with him. Xiao Yan doesn't trust anyone, so it's better if the Demoness stays with him. Chang Ming asked not to tell anyone that she was in the workshop in case her sister had a hard time accepting her decision. Chang Ming asked why her sister was not happy that she was getting married, but it was not a wedding for her sister. The sister wished Chang Ming to stay safe, and the wedding day came, the first wedding night. During the intimacy, Xu Yan told Q-san that he loved her. Chang Ming wanted to hear such words, but not to be called Q-san. Chang Ming stopped the general and said she was not ready yet. Shou Yang agreed that a lot had happened in recent days and she needed to recover. The prince was informed of what was happening with the people and what Xu Yang was doing. The demon was curious about Chang Ming and was told that the demoness had disappeared, that she was nowhere to be found. His wife made him a human hand out of dough so that the demons would not have any questions about her husband not eating human body parts. The general was uncomfortable with what he saw, but Chang Ming made him eat a bite. After eating a bite in the whole arm, the demon master and the general came to the prison to choose the person they would eat for dinner. They went into the cell and took the teenager. It turned out that he was the eldest son of Shu's assistant Yang Wang King. He told his friend's wife and son where to go and hide, and then he would help them escape from the city. While the demon and the general were walking around the prison, other demons found two more fugitives. They were a mother and son whom the general wanted to save. They were unable to get to the place where he told them to run. When the demon did not demand that the child tell them who told him to run, the boy did not reveal the secret. He said that he had run away himself. He was drunk. She asked him to go home, but he refused. The general was worried that he had the blood of his men on his hands. Chang Ming said that he had to endure it, that if he wanted to kill Lin Huang, he would have to sacrifice his men. Xu Yan thought that not all demons were bad before his parents died, but when demons killed his entire family in front of him, he changed his attitude towards them. He began to spend all his time in training, and now he has only one desire: to kill all demons. Chang Ming protested that there are good and evil demons. For them, there are only evil ones. Xu Yan fights with his comrade Xia Tian, who cut off his hand so that the general could give it to Lin Huyan as proof that the general is on the side of the demons. Chang Ming came running to Xu Yan with a sky lantern, which they launched into the sky. It was New Year's Eve. The wife asked why her husband was not happy, because he should be happy on the holiday. Chang Ming gave Xiao Yan a magic flower to smell, which gave him the illusion of images from the past. They found themselves between people celebrating the new year. The couple went to the house where Xu Yan used to live. There he saw his parents alive and waiting for him to return from the games, and they returned to their own time. Chang Ming was taking the general's measurements for new clothes. The general was going to war. He could not stand it and kissed his wife. Chang Ming told her sister about the night she spent with her husband. Chang Ming asked her sister to buy the ingredients for osmanthus cookies for her to make for her husband. Chang Ming refused to eat a man's heart. The sister reminded Chang Ming that the general does not love her, but Ku San, the girl in whose body she is now. But this doesn't stop the Demoness. For her, the main thing is that she spends all the time with her lover. One of the demons saw the sisters talking, and she went to talk to the general because the owner of the leather dyeing workshop was absent for several days, and the Demoness saw Chang Ming's best friend talking sweetly to Ku San. To make sure whether his lover or the demon was really living with him, he needed to check the girl's back to see if there was a knot. When Shu Yan returned home, Chang Ming was cooking for him. He wanted to hug her to look at her neck, but she pushed him away and went on cooking. The man did not stop and approached her again. When he pulled down her clothes, he did not see any knot on her back. Chang Min's sister redid the seam and pulled the knot down her arm. Chang Min met with her sister. She wanted to tell her lover everything. She didn't want to lie anymore. Her sister hid at the time to avoid being noticed. The owner went into the spring to be with the general's wife in person. Chang Ming hurried to leave, but the demoness stopped her and a fight broke out between them. Chang Ming managed to escape from the spring owner. The spring owner caught Chang Ming's sister and gave her to the prince. Lin Huiyan called Chang Ming and showed her sister tied up with wounds. She confessed to him that she had killed Q San and painted her skin. Now Chang Ming must tell the prince everything Shu Yan does, or her sister will be killed. Shu Yan told his wife about the plan he could finally carry out to kill the demon prince and all the demons in the world. Chang Ming told Lin Huiyan, who made another plan in which he now wanted to kill the general in the canyon and lead all the demons to Pingyang. If she chose the prince, she would kill her lover. If she chose Shu Yan, she would kill everyone who knew about her. There was a surprise waiting for her. Her lover had prepared a lot of sky lanterns for her at home. He told her that he had many plans, that he was full of strength to kill the main demon, and that he himself might die, but he would protect her and send her home. Chang Ming told all of Shu Yan that she had killed Q San and painted her body. It happened when they were in Pingyang. She showed him the knot and confessed that she was Chang Ming. All the beautiful moments they had spent together flew before Shu Yan's eyes. In a fit of anger, the man said that they would never see each other again and left. Chang Ming wanted to take her sister out of the prince's castle, but the mistress of the springs appeared on her way, and a battle broke out between them. Lin Huiyan, who was on his way to the battle with his army, saw Chang Ming and asked her what she was doing in the castle, and was told that she had brought food for her sister. At that time, Chang Yuan was holding a demoness tied up. While Chang Ming was talking to the prince, the mistress of the springs broke free of her chains and killed Chang Yuan. Chang Ming killed the demon immediately. Chang Ming hugged Chang Yuan. Yuan's last words were a declaration of love for Chang Ming. Chang Yuan and Chang Ming's arms turned into small and delicate flower petals. Chang Ming screamed, the demon's wings appeared. The army led by the general and the prince approached the canyon. Then the prince turned his horse in the other direction, and upon entering the canyon, arrows began to fly and stones began to fall. Everything was done as planned by the general. The prince and the rest of the army entered Pinyin, as he thought, completely unprotected. But out of nowhere, large stones flew at them. The prince managed to get out alive from the bombardment. Lin Huiyan began to say that he could not have imagined that Chang Ming loved Shu Yan so much that she could betray them both. How could he, a great general who hates demons so much, follow a demoness? The demon confessed that it was he who had sent someone to kill Q San. Shu Yan killed the prince, but when he approached him and took off his mask, he saw that it was Chang Ming. Some time before, Chang Ming had met Lin Huang in Pingyang, and a battle had begun between them. The prince wanted to understand why a demon helps a human. They are different races, and was told that she does not divide them into races, but only into good and evil. Chang Ming took a sword that kills demons, and with it she went to the demon prince. The prince pulled the sword out of his spine, and a fierce battle began between them. Chang Ming gained wings, and the prince took off his human body and became a demon. Despite the unequal strength, Chang Ming flew into the air and was able to stab the sword into the part of the body where it was needed to kill the demon. The demon prince was dead. Shu Yan picked up Chang Ming. The girl said that she did not intentionally kill Q San. She only wanted to see what a woman who is loved by a man she likes looks like. Now she realized how painful it was. Chang Ming asked her not to hate her. Chang Ming died in Shu Yan's arms. After what happened to the general, he changed his mind about killing all the demons. He allowed the demons to return to the forest and lived with them in harmony. When Shu Yan returned home, he was waiting for a gift from Chang Ming, a flower of illusions, in which she wrote her message to him, telling him about their first meeting and how much she loved him. Chang Man asked him to forgive her for what she had done, and she realized that she was not the one he loved. She realized that it is very difficult to love someone, but not loving someone is even worse. Chang Ming took off Q San's face, and in front of the general sat the real Chang Ming, who was just a bird, and she was the owner of a leather dyeing workshop and the best master in the land of demons. Chang Ming spoke and cried how she did not want to make these memories happy, but she could not help but cry. The second gift from Chang Ming to Shu Yan was the cookies she made, the same cookies his mother used to make for the general when he was a child.